Udo. I watch and I continue to see my YouTube, seeing too many comments there. The truth is that I came for freedom. I wouldn't love to say it the way that you like so that you can follow me. Oh, follow Imane Oremi Juice. And as a matter of fact, I want if you don't like what I say, unfollow me. But that truth, that bitter truth, I will be telling it to your people's face. I have seen some people laughing that Mazen Simon Ekpasoda can never be. How can Mazi Simon Ekpa give order to Adadi Oramma? The truth remains that Adadi Oramma, that is the reason why when I see some of you, I laugh. If you know the weight of Adadi Oramma, in spiritual realm, you cannot come here and be talking rubbish. Yes, nah. I have seen too many of it. Did your Madam CSO said that Mazi Simon Ekpa did not give her a message? The message that she will take is the one that favors her. The truth remains that Imane Oremi Juice is following Mazi Simon Ekpa. And I noticed that some people are using this opportunity. Oh, let me talk in the side of COS so that I will get followers. Who cares about followers? When my people are dying, I have lost a good number of people in this very struggle. So if you have not lost anybody, shut up when I'm talking. Again, some people say, do you know, Imane Oremi Juice, you will suffer. Amen. If what I am saying is a lie, if I am doing it to deceive the Biafra people, let me suffer from generation to generation. But if what I am saying is truth, not monetary inducement, but truth, may I live from generation to generation. That's the truth. What I do here, I speak the bitter truth. I will tell you that bitter truth. Now, all of you insulting Gentle. I have seen Gentle was in here to make caricature. May what Gentle face, may you face it. And if you never go on the ground to defend Biafra people, Brukene Bwa Gentle Bu, Bwa, Inoreba na Bwa war. 36 million non-issue, wanted by Nigerian government. You know, neighbor, oh, Gentle, follow you. You know, talk to DPM. Who in her is your DPM? What have she done? Okwafolani is killing our people. What is your DPM doing? Every week they will call you, oh, cabinet meeting. You go there and watch it. 21st century, you watch it. Go Boroge. Cabinet meeting at Honorable, give you a report. They will be telling you lies. Yes, now, to tell you that what they are telling you there is lies. Minister of Defense, Sena, your mahonye caterpillar, your madam say, somebody should bring a report. We are PM, sack, Genewano. Caterpillar. Asiocha ka na atụrụ ndị a. Asiocha. Caterpillar, gena Caterpillar na-eme freedom in 21st century. Nnedi. The truth is that I can no longer be involved in nonsense. Maka, when I am sheltering it, the blood of people are dying. I am partaker. Show me one single thing this your madam have done. The land of Biafra, number one, Ukovaka Nelu. These are the same people, Madam Azuka Koveraka Nelu. The truth of people need to apologize Azuka. And I will want that you lead one day the apology. Because all the things that they accuse her, that woman never killed single person. But now they brought Caterpillar that have murdered our people. Ikenguru that have murdered and continue to murder our people. And I tell rubbish. The truth is that I can no longer be involved in lies and deceit. I can no longer be involved in lies and deceit. when the land of Biafra is going. Ndina say, oh, the PM saw that supersede her order. What I follow in freedom. And I come and follow like oh, so that you love me. I follow the order of freedom. If you don't like it, get out. I do not come here for you to appease you or to appease. Some of you have a stupid mindset. I do not come here. PM turn AI, but be my surrogate. It's not AI. It is direct. But PM's order, when it favors her, it is good. When it does not favor her, it becomes AI. If that the reason why most of you, some of them will even say that you are being too emotional. Who is emotional now? Who is emotional? Who is emotional? Go and deliver your stupid mindset. Go and were go mmiri asagi ishi sapụgị ọkụ anwụrụ Igbo Ngozi Ọra bụ eze unu na-aṅụ asapụgị ya. The truth is that whatever you do not concern him and Oremi, but once you start going against Biafra, I will expose you to the last. Ọkụ anwụrụ Igbo ọ na-aṅụ is the reason she's not reasoning fine. Unu na-akpọzi gentle iyi, gentle ghọrọzi ajọ mmadụ. Ngozi Ọra bụ eze nọ na Amerịka ezuzugharị ghọrọ ezigbo mmadụ. PM ghọrọzie AI. Who are those calling PM? Hey, PM, ebe ị nwụrụ ka m na-anwụ. Ị hụrụ na those of you are rubbish. All of you saying, oh, upon the sacrifice of this woman, please come out. Come and show me one single sacrifice of the woman. Every week, every week you go and contribute money for the security of your land. Don't you ask question, where is the money? Men on the ground is crying. They don't receive fund. You know, say, oh, you don't receive fund. What are you doing? Can't you fight with what? With your akpamu. If they don't receive fund, they can't act more than their capacity. They can. And he was later battered. There are no people not here.
At the last line of fight to the liberation of Biafra is on. You understand that the next stage, the next thing that we have to do to get Biafra fully restored is the liberation. That is why They gave some of you assignments to come and attack the finance. That is why they gave some of you the assignment to come and make some of you that were contributing money to fund the liberation of Biafra to turn the money to funding a Agbu terrorist. Yes. International community will not take you serious if the defense of the homeland is not fully in your hands. There is no country in history that finished the declaration of their independence and then they leave the task of expunging and flushing out the remains of the terrorist existence in your land, and then you go to focus on any other thing. There is no country that have ever done this mistake. If you look at what Ambazonia have been doing, Ambazonia do more in making sure to minimize the existence of the Cameroonian terrorist forces, the occupational terrorists in their lands. They embark on expunging them, pushing them out of their territory. The more you push them out, the more you capture your territory. The more you push them out, the more you capture your territory. This is what the American did to the British. This is what Finland did to the Russians. This is what every other countries and nations that have fought for their freedom have done. After getting the recognition and support of your citizens from the homeland, whom you are fighting for, whom you are fighting on their behalf, as a government in exile or as a government that is standing to speak for the people, after getting the voices and the vote of the indigenous persons in your homeland, which you are fighting to represent, the next thing you need to get is the recognition and the voices of foreign nations. After the declaration of the restoration of independence United States of Biafra in Lati, the next stages that we have to face are number one, which is very, very primary. Very primary. Before you get to secondary school or university, you have to start from primary. The primary task is what? The liberation homeland. The liberation in the homeland so that you can get and take total control of the homeland from the occupational terrorists. You will go and talk to the international communities. You go and talk to Washington, D.C. You will talk to UK. You will talk to Russia. You will talk to Asia. You will talk to Europe. You will talk to Putin. You will talk to whoever you want to talk to. You will talk to India, You will talk to Hong Kong. You will talk to Consin. You will talk to Chin Chin. When you talk finish, they have to run a survey. The survey they have to run is to check if you are in charge of your homeland. If you have taken control of the homeland from the occupational terrorists. This is why Prime Minister said, after the declaration in Lati, we are going to go into a long battle. And this long battle, the main aim and objective is to make sure we delegitimize in full force the total existence of the remaining terrorists of one Nigeria in Biafra land. He said, it may take us years, and we can also shorten the years. based on the logistics available in our hands. It is the liberation momentum in the homeland, dismembering the existence of the Zoo terrorists in Biafra land, that will make the recognition play on the international table to look pleasant. Now the question comes back to, why are some of you going to sponsor a Bubagu instead of sponsoring the Biafra Liberation Army? It's because the enemies of Biafra, Nigerian government understands that after the declaration, the next stage, the next phase is a brutal takeover and a brutal eviction of Nigerian terrorist resistance in Biafra land. And by the time you succeed with full force of evicting the Nigerian terrorist presence in Biafra land, you have gotten control of Biafra land totally. So when you go to speak to international community, they now table their survey on the satellite and weigh in to see how far you have taken control of the homeland. They can now come to terms with you. They can now consider your chest on the table to see if they can become the king of the chest or if you can win them. Before they even have a second thought of considering playing a chess on the table with you, they have to check your results and your report card from your homeland, where you are really playing the liberation mood. So, having known this and understand this, the zoo existence and their likes decided to do what? To bring out some of you that are willing to become slaves to the destruction of lives and properties of the Biafran people. Some of you that are willing to make sure instead of us to go 100 steps forward, 100 steps forward, you take us 100 steps backward. That is why after the convention, fundraising that is done and channeled to the Biafra Defense Forces for the liberation of the homeland through one source and one way and manner and one command, you people decided to divide the house. You people decided to go and register a different group and use it as a distraction. Because the enemies of Biafra understand that the stage the Prime Minister had taken us to is the crossroad which we have already plucked the Rubicon. And we have the Rubicon in our hands. The next thing is just for us to light the rockets, and then you see Biafra blossom. Why was Ebubago unveiled? Let us go there. And why are you people preferring to go and fund Ebubago instead of funding the Biafra Liberation Army that was unveiled by the Biafran people? Why do you deviate and leave Biafra Liberation Army that was unveiled by the Biafran people to what? The protection, the defense, and the liberation of Biafra land from the invading terrorists that are coming to slaughter our women and children? Why do you now leave Biafra Liberation Army? You now start going to go and pick Ebubagu to start funding Ebubagu. We expose the connivance of Honorable Fulani and a group of USB Nigeria with Ebubagu commanders. Then it was that of Caterpillar. And after that has been done, they have now understood and heard the name of Caterpillar everywhere. Now they're driven to a different name because the Caterpillar name has campered with over 50 million naira from Ngozi Orabofola account. Biafra money. Useless Biafra money. The useless Biafra money. They deceive them and they bring the money out and then they use it for Ibubagu. To those of you that are making donations to Honorable Fulani, here is another one. After we have exposed Caterpillar deal with them, which Caterpillar ran away with the money, which the confessions are everywhere, and Rama have confessed about it. Who go to 47 have confessed about it. Many of them have confessed about it. Over 50 million naira. Today, since they don't see Caterpillar again, they have now gone for Sapele. Sapele is another Ebubagu commander. Sapele is another Ebubagu commander. The same way that they use Adarama to see that the news, the recruitment of Ebubagu Caterpillar came and fly and spread all over the media. Then later when she now started speaking up, they used it against her. Today, they have gone for another Ebubagu commander. The question is, why will they go for Ebubagu terrorists instead of turning the money that Biafrans donate to them in to the Biafra Liberation BDF to use it in getting their logistics to expunge the terrorists? Why are they going to make use of Ebubagu? This is Ebubagu inauguration. I am bringing our minds back to understand the birth of Ebubagu, the reason and why Ebubagu came to be, who brought it and for what purpose that they brought about Ebubagu. So I want all Biafrans to go and be asking the USB Nigeria and Honorable Fulani group, why are they so much interested in bringing Ebubagu to come and kill Biafrans? Prime Minister Simon Ekpa with us and our Supreme Leader make ways for us to have security, to have protection, to put everything in order on the mandate of the Biafran people. And then the governors of the East, who works for One Nigeria as slave boys, on the mandate of one Nigerian terrorist government, they decided to bring up Ebubagu. I'm going to play the video of the Ebubagu so that you hear what the message says. They launched the Ebubagu for a purpose of flushing out the Biafra liberation. Ebubagu was launched for the purpose of flushing out Biafra liberation. Ebubagu was not launched to go after the Fulani terrorist herdsmen. It was not launched to go after the terrorist herdsmen that are cutting off heads of babies, women, and children. It was unveiled specifically for what? for the attack on the Biafra liberation. So while you sleep and wake up and then you hear Caterpillar Ibubagu being a commander of Ngozi Fulani, Sapele, one that they have gone to negotiate. We'll go 247 is the one that they use now to do the arrangement of the meeting. Since Adarama has been on loggerheads with them now, we'll go 247 is the person now that they use as the negotiator, the person to go and arrange the meeting with Sapele. Sapele is another Ibubagu commander. I'm giving all of you the information today. Mark it and keep it so that tomorrow when you need the information, you can remember that on the 4th of March, I did say that there is another Ibubagu commander that they have gone to get again. Now, this getting of these Ibubagu commanders are not to do what? Are not to help you. They are to come and destroy you. Yes, somebody said something in the comment section. Ibubagu was created before Simon Ekpa came in and took the struggle. Fine and good. Ofium edit. Ibubagu was created before Simon Ekpa came and took the struggle. So, as Ibubagu was created before Simon Ekpa came and took the struggle, what was the mandate of Ibubagu? Did you even listen to the inauguration message from the person that inaugurated the Ibubagu to hear what is spelled out? Is it when Ibubagu was inaugurated that is the issue, or the mandate of Ibubagu? Simon Ekpa did not start the struggle. The struggle has existed since Uwazirike. The struggle transcended into Nnamdi Kanu since 2012. Simon Ekpa was not in the struggle since 2012. Simon Ekpa was not in the struggle since 2015. We just came in yesterday when they called us COVID-19 freedom fighters. Yes. Now, when was Ibubagu unveiled? And when was ESN unveiled? What was the purpose of unveiling ESN? Then you will come to understand why they later came to create Ibubagu. They came to create Ibubagu because they see that ESN were making exploits against the terrorist invaders. So they came and decided to create Ibubagu as a counter force. It was Meji Allah that advised that the zoo terrorist governors of the East must create a counter security group to counter what? To counter the Biafra Eastern Security Network. Because they saw that their terrorist foot soldiers were being taken off the lands of Biafra on a daily basis. The same way that you see today that Gumi advocated that the zoo governors in the East should recruit more of the Biafran boys and sisters and girls and use them to fight Biafra. Is the exact thing that they have done again this time in the Biafra liberation. In the Biafra liberation today, the money that people are supposed to use to make Biafra to go to the next stage, they are now using money to go and start recruiting and paying Ibubagu terrorists to come and fight the same Biafra that they had claimed to be fighting all this while. Now, our supreme leader, said something in the video I played earlier. And the message goes like this.
Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so. Wow. Yes. And I'm one. Spirit in human flesh. If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
As long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed. I want to ask all of you today, have you remained determined and focused on the Biafran mandate that Onyendu started and the Prime Minister started? Have you remained focused and resolute and formidable on it? Have you? No, you have not. Said for as long as we remain resolute and focused on it, the terrorists will never succeed. As long as we remain resolute and determined, the terrorists will never succeed. I want to show you people that you have not remained resolute. You have not remained focused on the ball, which was to have been after the declaration. Every effort and power and strength goes to the liberation of the homeland. We put all our energy to fund the liberation army from one source, as it was instituted before now. It after the convention. Some of you decided not to remain resolute. Some of you decided to start bringing power tussle. You started bringing power in your head that you want to make yourself the deputy prime minister. You want to make yourself the deputy PM. You want to be the deputy head of state. You want to register a new group of your own. That what prime minister was doing was evil. Now you see that you have arrived. You started coming with propaganda and blackmail and slander first to destroy the mindsets of others that are supposed to come to one fold and make donations for us to go far. See? Ebubagu was created before Simon Ekpa came into the Biafran struggle, according to this Orpheum edit here. But did he allow Ebubagu to breathe after he came into the struggle? No, because Ebubagu is a terrorist declared and unveiled by the zoo governors against the Biafran people. He identified them and he did not allow them to breathe. So why are you people now giving breathing air to Ebubagu now? Why is Ngozi going to now recruit Ebubagu to make them love boys and girls? Prime Minister, when he was here, Biafrans never allowed Ebubagu to breathe. They did not give Ebubagu food. They went to make sure any Ebubagu terrorist that arises, they are taking off the way of killing our babies, women, and children. But at this very point, you people are actually the one taking over 50 million naira to go and give Ebubagu. You go and recruit Ebubagu against the Biafran Liberation Army. And then when Onyendu said, if you remain resolute, they will not succeed. The terrorists will not succeed. Yet, you come out to come and cry when you have not remained resolute. Because of your no resoluteness, you have seen the results coming out of your sarcastic mindset of what you have done.
Never. If you stop now agitating for Biafra, I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air. At Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so. Yes. I am one. Spirit in human flesh. If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no...
As long as we remain determined and focused, all of you have lost focus. Your focus is no more on the mandate and principles of the Biafra Liberation Forces. Mbano. Your focus now are on how to become the leader. How to become the leader is what all of you have in your heads now. How to become the leader is not how to remain focused and resolute. Oyendu's message as sacred. If you remain focused and resolute, you will overcome these terrorists. Now, because of you not remaining focused and resolute on the ball, you have allowed a Bubagu terrorist to now become your soldiers. And your women are coming out now to cry. They are crying on the same Ebubagu who are walking in line with the Fulani herdsmen.
way they will ever succeed.
No way will they ever succeed if you are like this. If you all remain resolute and fight for unity of purpose. By the time some of you prefers to destroy Prime Minister, you hit your chest and say, instead of you to bow down to the instruction of Prime Minister, to fall back to be RGIE, that you would rather take the money to go and form a Bubagu. Who are you doing? Are you doing Sonny? Or are you doing Okenkere? Are you doing the Prime Minister? Are you doing the Biafran people? You are doing the Biafran people. You are not doing Sonny. You are not doing Prime Minister. You are not doing Okenkere. See, if some of you likes, you obey the instruction of the Prime Minister. If you don't like, you ignore the instruction of the Prime Minister. But remember that it is not the Prime Minister that you are doing all these things. It is not Sonny that you are doing all these things. It is not Okenkere. It is not the BRGIE. BRGIE is just the name of the government. The officials of BRGIE as Biafrans makes up BRGIE. But there is something sacred. The souls and spirit of the Biafrans in the homeland, whom because of your stupidity and wickedness, will lead them to their early graves in the hands of the Fulani terrorists. The liberation forces will not use their saliva to get their logistics. If the money that is supposed to be sent to them is now channeled to Ebubagu, to go and fund Ebubagu, do you expect the liberation forces to use their saliva or sand to get logistics to fight the terrorists? No. When the terrorists will come, they will overrun your communities. Who will be losing? Is it the liberation forces? Nah, not the liberation forces that will be losing. It is you that will be losing, thinking that you are doing the Prime Minister with your stubbornness and stupidity, or thinking that you're doing Sonny or you're doing Okenkere. Every nation that have finished the Declaration of Independence, the next line of action is to see that they embark on a total eviction, total delegitimization of the existence of the occupational terrorists of the former country that are in their land. And this is what I have been shouting after the conference, that we have an enemy, we have a common problem, and that common problem is the liberation of the homeland. If you don't liberate the homeland and have control of it, you cannot talk of establishing laws. You cannot talk of implementing the constitution that we adopted in Helsinki or in Latin. You cannot talk of bringing out laws that will govern the people. Will the people be governed in exile? Will the people now have banks that will be working in exile? Will the people now have currencies that will be running in exile? Will the people now have court system that will be running in exile? Will the people now have a policing system that will be running in exile? Will they run a custom services that will be running in exile? Will they run immigration services that will be running in exile? Will they run a customary system that will be running in exile? Will they run policies that will only reign and stay in exile? You need your sovereignty in the homeland. You need to be in control of your homeland. The only way to achieve this, it is through the liberation of the homeland. This is why those that are taking Biafra money, standing on the way, turning your heads upside down, calling you to come and donate money for them to use to recruit a Bubago commanders. This is the reason why they understand that Biafra remains just one level for us to get to the final point. That is why they have come and attack the liberation mood. The liberation mood, the liberation level is where we are now. That is why you see this attack on the finance coming. Because they know when the liberation mood is streamlined and everybody go with one force and in one direction, all the donations are going through one source. The liberation in the homeland will get to gear 100. You will sit down today and hear that so place in the homeland where the zoo terrorists of Nigeria are occupying have been dislodged. Tomorrow, before you sleep and wake up, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Tomorrow, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Tomorrow, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Gradually, we are taking over gradually. Before you know it, we have taken over 1/3 of Biafra land from the hands of the occupational terrorists. Those that are coming to destroy your minds, to tell you that they are the ones in charge, that BRGIE is not the government, that they have to register a new government. This is the secret that they understand. They understand that the secret of the success of the Biafra liberation in the next phase is the final stage of the Biafra sovereignty, which will gain you the recognition. This is why they are fighting it. So if you are a willing tool, if you have made yourself a servant to this very cause of being used by the enemies of Biafra, know that you are actually fighting against the liberation in the homeland. Know that you are fighting against the over 80 million Biafrans that are in the homeland, suffering and facing the brunt of one Nigeria for years. And there is a very important message from Oyendo. If we stop what we are doing now, our people will die. If we stop what we are doing now, our people will die. If we stop what we are doing now, our women and children will be wailing on a daily basis in the hands of the Fulani terrorists. Those you have in abroad will not have a home to come back to. So it is time to stop the play.
Never. If you stop now agitating for Biafra, those who left back home will die. Never. No, you have not come with your pen because I'm not aware. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. If you stop what you're doing, our people will die. Yes. Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so. Yes. I am a man. Spirit in human flesh. If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
As long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they can ever succeed. Have you been determined and focused since after the convention? No! You have not been determined and focused. And because of your inability and stubbornness of not being determined and focused, it has led to these women and children that you see wailing here in Enugu. Are you happy? You must be happy. Look at them. Have you been determined and resolute? Oyendu said, as long as you remain determined and resolute, the Fulani terrorists would not succeed in killing a Biafran. But because you have not been determined, focused, and resolute to continue on what will expunge and stop every Fulani terrorist from entering one part of Biafra land, the money that you should have resolutely sent to the liberation forces to get logistics and fight the terrorists, you now send the money to Bubagu. You are the one funding Bubagu now to have their two legs on ground. But yet, when you see videos like this, all of you will share.
This is women on their farms have been destroyed. They have nowhere to run to. They are trying to government to come to their rescue. Here the blood flows, and they say no vehicle will pass until there will be a government intervention. And they have a sitting governor, have sitting government. They are never clear about the level of devastations, about the killings going on in the Hamilton. And the questions in their lead is, do they still have government that cares, that are concerned about their plight? We in Nigeria have not heard that the Hamilton have been devastated. People have been sacked from their homes, farmlands destroyed, houses burnt, women raped, men killed in their numbers, and yet nothing has been done about it. And today they decided to come out to do this peaceful demonstration, to cry. They say if government will not hear them, let the God of heaven hear their cry and intervene.
Many of you are happy, right? Many of you are happy because the Biafra Liberation fundraising that you are supposed to do to channel to the liberation forces in the homeland to combat the terrorists in one fold. You divided it into 70:30%. You take 70%, you go and give to Bubagu terrorists. And the Bubagu terrorists use the money to finance the Fulani Islamic jihadist terrorists, who in turn comes into these communities and kill at random. Then, the rest of you now sit on the fence, thinking that Sonny will become a failure, that Prime Minister will become a failure, that Okenkere will become a failure. Prime Minister, mind you, is in detention. He is not dead. He is not. Blood is still flowing in his veins. He set up precepts and precedents of how Biafra land can be defended, how Biafra land can be protected against the terrorists and the assailants. But in his absence, all of you decided to carry the money that should have gone to the Biafran government for the liberation of the homeland. You decided to go and give it to Ngozi to use it and fund a Bobago. Now, the way these women and children are wailing and crying, you are clapping, you are happy. Your own is to use it to make videos so that you can get money. Tomorrow, you will see many of the bloggers, those that even claim to have been very staunch Biafran supporters of Biafran government. They will make videos with this and say, Yamufu has been taken over by Fulani terrorists. So Yamufu is in the hands of Fulani terrorists. So the first question you should ask yourself is, since Prime Minister was called for interrogation and detained, since you see that the Yamufu is in the hand of Fulani terrorists as you claim, but yet you still see these human beings coming out from the same Yamufu to do the protest. If Yamufu was totally deserted, at least these human beings wouldn't still be alive now, Abi. All of them for don't quite finish. If Yamufu was totally deserted, we wouldn't have seen anybody to protest. Okay, let us come back to reality. You saying that Yamufu is on rampage the way you claim and say it. What have you done to help the Biafra Liberation Army to destroy the terrorists? Is it by making to go viral online, where everybody will watch and then you collect money at the end of the month from your social media? And then you will be asking those that say they are in charge of the defense, those that say they are in charge of the men on ground, what are they doing to Yamufu? But you that is making such video, you cannot post the flyer of the Biafra Liberation fundraising. You cannot open your platform and spend 3 hours, talk to Biafrans and educate them, both home and abroad, that they all have to bring out their tithe and offering and come to the Biafran government BRGIE fundraising and support, so that this money can be used to channel to the liberation in the homeland, to defend the homeland. You cannot join the same fundraising. You cannot even pay up your channel to stream out the fundraising. You cannot identify yourself with the fundraising of the Biafran government. You cannot come and support. You cannot come and televise it. You cannot create your time to create awareness for the fundraising. You cannot come and speak to Biafrans and say, Biafrans, we know we have existential threat. We have a common problem, yet there are quagmires around us because we are this kind of people that are very stubborn. But yet, the right thing to do is for you to come and make your donations through the BRGIE. Channel every donation to this point. Some of you that have big platforms, the best thing that you could do when Prime Minister was detained is for you to come out and say, you want Biafra government to come and buy your platform and pay you money. Yes. You want Biafra government to come and pay you money for platform, for social media platform, for YouTube and for Facebook accounts, because it is the money that you need. It has never been the Biafra liberation or freedom that you are fighting for. So while Biafrans are dying, and while Prime Minister is in detention, while Onyendu is in detention, that is when you want to come and sell platform and make money and then go and sleep. Then when you see that people have been massacred, you now come back to come and be doing program and be asking. Those of you that say you are in charge of the men on ground, what are you doing with the money? Ask yourself first the question, what are you doing with your platform? How are you creating the Biafra awareness to all these people to know where to go and make the donation? How are you making your stand for them to know that the right thing to do is to come and join the BRGIE and create awareness and then educate everybody, let them know the right thing to do. Come and make your donation and put it in one purse. Is it when the fire is burning, you run to go and hide? And then when you see that there is light at the tunnel, you run back to come and carry the first lantern, and you start shouting, I am pointing the lantern, oh, I am pointing the lantern, oh. Fundraising, you cannot join. Your platform, you cannot use it to televise the fundraising. You cannot even use 3 hours or 4 hours or even 10 minutes or 20 minutes to do a program advertising and promoting the fundraising flyer or fundraising that is coming up or town hall meeting, thereby inviting everybody to come over and join the fundraising when it is time, which will in turn garner more audience, bring more participation, and bring everyone to one fold. We all have roles to play. But when you now think that you have to stand on the fence, then when babies and children and women are massacred, you now come and start shouting, you are a bunkum. You are contributing no factor. You are as worst as Ngozi Fulani, who is actually deceiving some Biafrans, collecting money from them, and then using the money to go and recruit a Bubago. You are one and the same thing. You are even worse than her. Because you that stand and see that they are planning evil, and you cannot call evil evil. You cannot tell people, don't go here because it is evil. You are making a very big mistake. Oyendu said, for as long as you remain resolute and focused on this Biafran mandate, it will be impossible for these terrorists to massacre your women and children and go scot-free. But because you did not remain resolute, because you decided to shift the table which Prime Minister kept and arranged, you wanted to form your own government when the Prime Minister is not there. Another question that Biafrans should ask your Honorable Fulani woman that is taking your Biafran money to Bubagu, the question you should ask is, if you claim to answer DPM USB Nigeria, Prime Minister, on hearing all this saga, can't even place a call to you, but he can place calls to some of us. No, be juju be that. He sent the first message through the attorney. You call the attorney criminal. You call the attorney miscreant. All manner of names you have called the attorney. Every message he sent, you call the attorney criminal. Now, the Prime Minister that you claim and you are using his name, that said, stop using my name because what you're doing is stalking my release. He cannot send message to you directly. He cannot also call you, but can call other people. Those of you following the Mburu Mary woman, you cannot ask her this hard question. Why is it that Prime Minister has confidence in every other person and can call and send messages direct to them, but cannot call you? He is impersonating him, who is claiming to be the Deputy Prime Minister that does not exist. The Deputy Prime Minister which made herself a Deputy Prime Minister by herself alone, without anybody voting her into any position. Why is it that the Prime Minister cannot call you as he has called other people, or send message direct to you as he has sent to other people? Do you know why? One, from the betrayers of trust, Prime Minister cannot call you. Those Prime Ministers have called and sent messages through. The messages are confidential and not meant for public usage. And they have confidentially kept the promises to those messages, because if they take it to public, it is going to be used against the Prime Minister in court. The few messages that Prime Minister have sent to you through his attorney, you have brought it to the social media. already. And that makes what? That makes a breach of confidentiality. The message that the attorney communicated to you privately and said, this is a one-on-one communication that I had with PM. He instructed me to tell you this. You brought that message and blew it down there in the media on Twitter. Tell me. And then you are using his official letterhead and his official seal of office and stamp, and on behalf of the Prime Minister, somebody that is standing trial, and you are impersonating the person. You did not just stop there. Every structure that is set up, you came and cancelled. Prime Minister build, you destroy. Prime Minister build, you destroy. Prime Minister build, you destroy. You destroy, you destroy. The IOU loan that Biafran people unveiled on his mandate, you destroy, you say IOU loan is a scam. The Biafra Defense Force headquarters that was unveiled in Helsinki in 2023, you came out and said they are kidnappers, they are criminals, they are fraudulent. It doesn't represent you. You are going to do your own recruitment. Your own recruitment that you went to do landed where? Landed in a Bubago recruitment. It is a Bubago that you now go to recruit. You did not see any other young man in the Biafran region to regroup them and send them for training. The only people that you saw were Ebubagu. 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 Prime Minister did not tell Biafran people that they have to go and work with Ebubagu. The zoo governors created Ebubagu. But what did you do? In your own time, you went to go and bring Ebubagu to come and fight Biafra Liberation Forces. All of you are causing the problems that you find yourselves today, that these women here find themselves today. Those of you in America, Europe, UK, that are funding Ngozi Ebubagu fundraising, you are the ones putting these women in this predicament. Because if you don't deviate the money that is meant for the Biafra liberation to Ngozi to use it for Ebubagu recruitment, these women will not be willing here. And you think that you are doing Sonny? You'll be using Sonny's name to do broadcasts, to put his name as criminal, traitor. Do you now see what you have done to these women? You expect the Biafra Liberation Forces to use saliva to go and fight the terrorists, right? While over 50 million naira was taken to Ebubagu, and 80 million naira was used for propaganda matching by Ngozi or Abofulani USB group. They prefer to fund Ebubagu and make useless with the money of Biafra than to put in the money into the Biafran government for us to use the money and fight the terrorists that are actually fighting our women and children. Can you see the irony that surrounds these people?
Life is a process, no matter how you go about it. Masi Okechukwu Omalicha Oke, the Biafra Republic of International Finance Minister, is humbly campaigning for global Biafra financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafra Defense Forces, and redeclaration-related activities. I appreciate all Biafrans who are supporting our liberation movement. Yep.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We must continue because we have to go with speed. Now, let me play the video of the Ebubagu. This is Ebubagu unveiled in 2021. Ebubagu was unveiled by the zoo governors. Umahi unveiled Ebubagu. Umahi unveiled Ebubagu on the 22nd of December 2021. Umahi unveiled Ebubagu. Umahi unveiled Ebubagu. Now, I want you to listen to the message from Umahi. The reason of unveiling Ebubagu and why Ebubagu must come to be. So those of you that are embracing Ebubagu today and using Ebubagu to fight the Biafra liberation, I want to remind you the purpose which Ebubagu was unveiled. For you to know that you are not doing anything that has anything aligned with the mandate of the Biafran people. Everything that you are doing is for the zoo terrorist government. The zoo terrorist government and their mandate is what you guys have. Umahi will explain to you from this video the reason and the purpose which they unveiled Ebubagu. And it is to come and fight and expunge everybody that are in the bushes fighting the terrorist Fulani Islamic Jihad. Who are those in the bushes that were fighting to expunge the terrorist Fulani Islamic Jihad? It was the ESN. ESN were unveiled as a child of necessity to expunge and sweep off the Fulani terrorists that were in Biafra land, that were cutting off heads of babies, women, and children of Biafra. I remember Onyendu calling on all these evil elders and governors and ministers and told them they should set up a security network to combat the terrorist menace in Biafra land. And what did they reply, Onyendu? They told Onyendu that Onyendu is in abroad, that Onyendu knows nothing about the way they are running their policies in the homeland, that Onyendu should not decide for them, Onyendu should not advise them, Onyendu should not even tell them what they should do, that Onyendu should focus in abroad, that he knows nothing about the security or the day-to-day running of their politics in the homeland. And the mass continued until Onyendu saw that there is need for us to take a swift action. That is how you all slept and saw that ESN was unveiled in December 2020. Yes. And when these people saw that Onyendu had unveiled ESN for Biafran people, and Biafran people are working with the ESN to destroy the terrorists that have come to kill their women and children, pastors and bishops of the homeland were testifying of the good work of ESN. We still have the videos of Father Mbaka singing the praises of ESN, who are fighting the terrorists to make sure they disappear from our lands, and that our women and children and he himself was able to now make his farm produce without the disturbance and distractions and problems of the Fulani terrorists. So, to be able to demean the effectiveness of the ESN, to be able to demean the effectiveness of the Biafran People's Security Network, these evil slave boys gathered on the order of the Fulani government from Abuja and decided to unveil Ebubagu. The sole aim of unveiling Ebubagu was to come and fight the Biafra liberation, not to come and fight the terrorists. Ebubagu was unveiled on the mandate of coming to do what? Target the Biafra liberation. Anyone that is standing out to defend the Biafran people, the work of Ebubagu was to make sure they take the person down. I want all of you to listen to the inauguration and the reason why Ebubagu was unveiled. Then you now ask Ngozi Orabufulani with a group of USB Nigeria why they will now take Biafra money to go and fund this Ebubagu instead of funding the Biafra Liberation BDF. Advance. Now, I want you people to listen very attentively so that you will pick point by point to understand and know why Ebubagu was unveiled and to what purposes. So that when you see somebody that is going to recruit Ebubagu and use Ebubagu to fight against the Biafran people, you know where that person is standing. Before we continue, I am going to play the voice of Caterpillar Ebubagu commander, where he is advising Ngozi. After I play it, I will also play Adayarama's argument and confirmation. We do go 247. Yes. Confirming about that day Ngozi Orabufulani recruited Ebubagu. And thereafter, I will now come to conclude with this message of who? Dave Umahi. When you will now hear Dave Umahi speak, you will now know the conclusion part. Now listen to Caterpillar advising Ngozi Orabufulani. He will even be telling you that all the men that have led Biafra liberation, that they are criminals. So that means Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. Ojukwu is a criminal. Philip Effiong is a criminal. Ife Juna is a criminal. Ajuse is a criminal. Nnamdi Azikiwe is a criminal. Obozi is a criminal. Prime Minister is a criminal. Wazirike is a criminal. According to Caterpillar, advising Ngozi, this is when he was giving her these vibes so that she can be able to release the over 50 million naira to him. And today, they cannot find him again with the money. So listen to the advice he was giving to Ngozi. Thereafter, I will play confirmation message of Ugo and Adarama confirming it also. Then we will come back to Ebubagu inauguration by Dave Umahi. So that you connect the dots and understand when we are saying those funding Ebubagu, they are doing it on the mandate of making sure that the next stage and the next phase of the liberation of Biafra, after the declaration of the restoration of independence in Lati, does not go in a streamline, because the next stage should have been very brutal, which is the eviction of the remaining terrorists and existence of one Nigeria in Biafra land. But they have to start bringing up all these things, Ebubagu, to come and go in and start killing people and mix up so that distraction will come. The finance will now enter in chaos, where the Biafra liberation forces will not have enough logistics to be able to go and do their work. And this will now dampen the effect of the liberation. It will keep us stuck in one place. We will not go forward, we will not come back. Listen.
Onion and Olia, Commander Caterpillar. There are some certain things we need to understand in this movement. We make mistake, and we need to correct ourselves very fast. That is a reality. That is a reality. Make mistake, correct yourself, because we are human beings, we are not God. The colors that at any time of Hawaii, but she on the struggle, mother to Nairobi. And don't walk in there, so I have forgotten that none of them are just a criminal. They're just using us. You know, why the men do not walk every day because of Biafra. That nobody is asking about them. Nobody is asking anything about them. If I know that call, Akorojeba, and now so offer. But all of us are fighting for one thing. Let me tell you. And when there's another Naya Bokosha in a boat, go to the Aboria. Bokosha him, and if I am Boko, his authority and all. I'm that kind of person. I don't know why I get Biafra, we follow him, follow her. Follow her bomber to bomber. Because I'm seeing that some people is out of breeding. Okay, what a Biafra, and we're going to Zorala. Zabarute Mahazawala. I see a pose of the Tala before it's over with it. The pose of Zobutet, Manezotaval. The pose of all getting in a Biafra land when they wanted Biafra. Because of one and then you need to lose some people. They are low dog. You need to see some people now, but I'm promised to bring peace to them. And I thank God that I have talking to some people. They are saying reason on me. Let us be together is not the same. If you don't want to be together, you step aside. If people want to be together, continue. This is a freedom. This is a fight. And this is not Nanabaranwa. Biafra will go Nanabaranwa. I did them mother house. So, Ngozi Ohabeze, you are our sister, and we are your brother. We are the one that fighting this struggle. We are the one GC Arombo. And you want some your people Busaraga enemy. But I'm not an enemy garden. Please, the mother. I want you to keep it up. Don't look for anybody. Don't listen. Don't be because also certain things bring spoil. I am able to problem in this thing. Don't look for anybody. Don't be even make your own pattern better than Simon said. be the great, be the hero. On your Biafra, I support. Because I cannot be a place which you will say, let's keep him quiet. That's why I love Fulanis. If they want to do something, they do it. Before Gabata, this is time, let us do that in Gabata. Please, as you are a pilot us well. Pilot our brothers well. Pilot our city.
That is Caterpillar giving her advice. And money was released, over 50 million naira. And now he has disappeared, he's nowhere to be found. He said in that video, the men that have laid us before are criminals, which is our own Wazirike and Prime Minister.
So I go see Oluta what the name of the 14th state of Biafra, and everybody can walk. Yahweh Bubago you now walk in the 14th state of Biafra. Ndobuko I na condemn una Nigeria. The mele crew to the Buku Haram. So now the pente the Buku Haram Tinyebe na and Ebitaba and Igbo now but we see. Now a Bubago who put the pente the Bubago but even na defense in Igbo. Ekenekwe mo PPA mumele spell all the DPA monokuru. So I go see PPA mumele spell. Olutato what was the name of the 14th state of Biafra and everybody can walk. Yahweh Bubago you now walk in the 14th state of Biafra. Ndobuko I na condemn una Nigeria. The mele crew to the Buku Haram. So now the pente the Buku Haram Tinyebe na and Ebitaba and Igbo now but we see. Now a Bubago who put a penton de Bubago, but even na defense in Igbo. Ekenekwe mo PPA mumele spell.
Now, you listen to that, right? Let me play another one.
Can I finish here with the voice?
Was contracted to go and stop them. Caterpillar went there and moved. This Caterpillar, the man that you're a man, Caterpillar is a hero. Caterpillar, if not for Caterpillar,
Die.
the killing.
Hey! Hey!
This is what so many people don't know.
Hey!
And this and that other one don't even know. All she knows is that somebody told her that Caterpillar is now back. She carry it.
Let me tell you something. We go 247. Before Caterpillar joined, the first time I got a Caterpillar, on a message Caterpillar leave, which I have the message. I'm not gonna make play here. I still have that message. The first to telephone communication, Caterpillar have with you no one. Kita can Amado Musa and then watch safe. No, we don't defense minister. According to our own defense. I have the message. Caterpillar leave from Bank and Norwana. Caterpillar is coming back. I just keep quiet and watching. The first contact on Caterpillar will we need Caterpillar go and walk. For the name will me. For how long? For how many days? No one know what they do. Caterpillar no, but don't wait to find Caterpillar again. And I got Caterpillar and I phone go deliver. Nobody sick. We got 247. But what's up? We got 247. I don't think we make you one. Oh, one penny to the man. In all even now, baggy. Only Papa Tapara good they make a mistake. I'm gonna make. Why is that you can't use it in there? Ada pipe low. Ada, go down. Ada, I'm breaking them. No matter the pain, swallow many things. Ada, Please. And the go and then them banandeg. What are the pen? Please calm down. Calm down. And calm down. For but to be calm down. Nem calm down. Kind of negate.
Oh, Caterpillar. She don't even know what Caterpillar came to do.
You see?
Caterpillar is not coming to take anybody's position. Government of Nigeria contracted so many people to come and fight against Biafra. Does that make them Nigeria army?
You see? You see? Somebody, Caterpillar will was by Western security network, put on social media now black. On one even this guy in the rock. Everyone has it out. Who go 257 no? Bakuozo. Who go one never singing Bakuozo. Who go one never singing Bakuo. Everyone never. I say Bange Bakuozo. Who go one never Bakuozo. Everyone never to quake. Everyone never in Jamba go to quake. We go 247. We go. I support Panalo. Umazia Caterpillar Bulkedifi Agbafa. Now support the government. Eastern Security Network, this man who go 247. No one in K Burunkipa Zebu Galavila. Habu Nale Ganyele Jesu Taife, who go 247. Caterpillar will go this guy, and if you will become on social media, native, boy, Batopie, who go 247, Dipia Boala, new where he keep put up. We may porn no somebody over to game they spell in life. Pafuno Balloon Neki. Wouldn't do support to whom has they were put over to defend their land. Cassie and I can go to first have a long time.
Government of Nigeria contracted Asari Dokubo boys to come and fight in the kidnap and they harvest innocent citizens in Biafra. Does that make them the Nigeria army?
You see, the owner for the 257. So, I want a Caterpillar one for a war. Oh, yeah, make it Caterpillar to Biafran Liberation Army. So, hey, I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. So, who go 247? Yeah, we even imagine about Caterpillar. Cabayu Fonia, Bayus Java don't Ponia. Oh, no, just your go, ya move. Oh, don't Ponia, say I get out because of the Burundi mother. Yeah, I was it. Caterpillar need money. He need money. And without the money, we want after to come and go. And if you meet these people, Caterpillar is an Ebubago man. Ebubago. No, each one of Caterpillar. We wouldn't know you join the one. Now this thing, man, Operation Udo got here because I am black on. Caterpillar is an Anambla. The atrocity, abomination, young Anambla, or Calamie. I will now go 247. Push you too much. I will bring out voice. Ndi no lo go a. Ma gbe ba no mi me gbe ba ka na agba. Ya walk. We go 247. I'm not coming here. But let me tell you something. That government in HNA like enough for you to come out to here and talk on and we were in a you are not doing the government good. I'm not going to know one will you get it okay. There's a good new one that we in that we. When you oh, but over 50 million. Over 50 million. The caterpillar. Nowhere to find caterpillar. And I cried out. And I shout. And I scream. No, you go. Listen to me. Over 50 million. Over 50 million. Over 50 million. Kenya the caterpillar. Nowhere to find the caterpillar. And I cried out. And I shout. And I scream. No, you go.
Now that you have had the confirmation, so that you will not say Sonny made it up now, I want to now go and play the inauguration video of Ebubago now. You will now hear Ebubago real commander that unveiled Ebubago, telling you the objective of what Ebubago was. Was created for. Then after now, you go and ask Ngozi Orabo-Fulani, how come you are now going to take Ebubago that was recruited and launched and unveiled by the governors of one Nigerian terrorist and carry Biafra money to go and give them? Listen to the Ebubago real commander that unveiled Ebubago here.
See these very gallant men and women that are the best of the Southeast Security Outfit and my state command. Let me say before now, we've always had vigilantes called the neighborhood watch. And when our people insisted that we must have uniformity in our local chiefs, I can say that over 60% of the governors have assented to this Ebubago law. That our state was the second to do this, and the first was Imo State. And that is the law of the states on Ebubago. passed by the State House of Assembly. Will not fold their hands. We have extended olive branch to all our youths that are in the bush.
We have extended olive branch to all our youth that are in the bushes. Listen very well, oh. This was unveiled after ESN was unveiled to comb the terrorists in the bushes. When Soludo came, you heard Soludo said, those in the bushes, I have reached out to them to come and lay down their arms and take amnesty. He said, I have negotiated with the IPOB DOS, and they said they are not part of the criminals. He said they have laid down their arms and they are working with him. Now, let's listen to Omai. Omai is telling you we cannot fold our arms and wash the youth, those in the bushes who claims they have been deceived to be fighting for Biafra. Who are those that were in the bushes? Were ESN in your houses? No. ESN were unveiled to be in your bushes to comb the terrorists. The Biafra Liberation Army today that was unveiled in Helsinki in 2024, they are not in the houses, in the communities where you are sleeping. Enjoy yourself. They are in the bushes, in the cold, watching to keep Biafra land safe from the terrorists.
By the State House of Assembly. Will not fold their hands. We have extended olive branch to all our youths that are in the bush, being brainwashed.
The bush being brainwashed. That all the youth that are in the bushes that are being brainwashed. So they describe ESN then as youth that are in the bushes being brainwashed about Biafra, being brainwashed about the Fulani terrorists that came to cut off heads of our babies and women and children. You all know the story that surrounds the emergence of Eastern Security Network. So, if Obagu was unveiled to go after and destroy Eastern Security Network, and also as Eastern Security Network later metamorphosed into the Biafra Liberation Army, their sole aim and objective is to see that they bring them down. Somebody that is going to recruit the Bubagu terrorists to come and fight the Biafra liberation today. What is the objective of that person?
Not fold their hands. We have not fold their hands. We have extended olive branch to all our youths that are in the bush, being brainwashed. The governors of counties are bound to empower them and to turn them to a more useful members of our society.
These are the same words and pronouncements that Soludo made, that they offer amnesty to Eastern Security Network, that they should leave the bushes and then come out and join them. Yes. So, those that accepted went out to go and join the Bubagu and become the Bubagu. Those that knew what Biafra meant, they continued to defend Biafra land against the terrorists. So those that went to join the Bubagu now became terrorists against the Eastern Security Network and the Biafra Liberation Army today. Those that went to join the Bubagu now are now working with the Zoo terrorist government.